Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Vesna here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today's video is all about lemons, so check out some of these tier tray lemon decor DIYs. So I just start off with this wooden sign and this wooden round from the Dollar Tree, and I will be painting them out in white using the Rust-Oleum chalk linen white paint. I did one coat of the white, and then I used my Cricut to design the design, and I used Easy November for the lemons. I used lemon font for the lemonade and then Academy font for the 25 cents. I did not wind up using the lemonade. I'll show you in the DIY why later, and the lemon I just found online, like a free SVG, and I cleaned it up. And then I went ahead and we did this, and I used it as a stencil. So make sure you always use transfer paper whenever you're transferring any kind of font for a stencil onto, or even like for anything, any kind of vinyl onto your DIY or your piece that you're doing, because what happens is the vinyl stretches, and then you're gonna have like stretched letters if you don't use the transfer paper. So use the transfer paper, it makes everything easier. So for the lemon, I just used a yellow acrylic paint. I'm leaving the leaves white for now, and for the lemon's font I used just a black acrylic paint. When you are using a stencil anytime and you want to put paint on it, you make sure that you dab. Even if you're using a brush, you dab. It's best to use like even those triangle makeup sponges, or they have the Dollar Tree has the round yellow kind of sponges that they have for painting. You can use those, or the makeup brushes. You can cut those up into, you know, 2 pieces, and you can use those and reuse them a few times. Just make sure you dab, because if you put too much, and you don't want to put too much paint, because if you put too much paint, it'll bleed everywhere and it'll look awful. So for the leaves, I'm just using a Sharpie. I'm using 2 different colors for the Sharpie, and I'm just tracing around in a darker color, and then I'm going to be filling it in a lighter color, and then I'll just add a few lines of the darker color onto the leaf part, just to make it look nice. And you can always, whenever you're doing any kind of intricate stuff, you can always use a Sharpie to kind of help you if you have a color that's similar to what you need. After everything was dry, I drew lines on the piece to make it look a little bit more like it's on a pallet wood or whatnot, kind of like barn board or whatever, just to add to the rusticness of it. And then I added some dark Annie Sloan wax, and I just used one of those shaving brushes that men use for shaving to apply the wax. It's quite rough right now, so it did a really good job applying, like antiquing this piece. So here it is. So before we move on to the next DIY, I just want to mention that this video is a part of a DIY hosted by my lovely, lovely sister Sonja over at Domestic Diva DIY. If you haven't checked out her DIY channel, make sure you check it out. She's so talented. She does so many different DIYs, furniture flips, thrift flips. She's got a whole bunch of videos a week. I think she's doing 3 videos a week now. So check her out. For a while she was doing a video every day. She's nuts. But she does an amazing job. She's got a cooking channel. She's got a home channel where she shows you her home decor. And now she started another channel. It's called Life with Dee Dee, and you get to get a glimpse into her daily life, how she gets things done, how she does things. And you get to see her cute new dogs. They're so cute, the 2 of them. They're nuts, but they're very cute and they're huge. So check her out. Subscribe to her channel if you haven't. Make sure you check out the playlist, because there's going to be a playlist. The task or the challenge that we had to do was that we had to create a lemon themed DIY. Hence all the lemons. So it'll be a lemon kind of day. So make sure you check it out. I love lemons for summer, so I can't wait to watch this playlist. Everything will be linked in the description below. So then the next DIY, same thing. I'm going to be using this little sign that I got from the Dollar Tree. I thought the shape was really cute, and I'm going to be painting it out in the chocolate and white. So again, I only do one coat of the white, and then this is the easiest DIY ever. I found this picture online. I used my Cricut just to clean it up a little bit, and then I'd use the print and cut function just to get it to print, and I just cut it out myself. And then what I did actually is I used a baby wipe and I wet the edges around. You could spray them too, but I wet the edges around just so I could rip them so it would look kind of like it's ripped. And then when I finish that, I use Mod Podge to apply it onto the wood, and then it kind of gives that look like it was a part of the wood, like it's a wood sign that this was printed on. So I really like this method. I've used it in a summer DIY as well that I did last year, and I love the way it turned out. I'll show you guys I'll link a video up here. So after I apply the Mod Podge to the front and back, I add a little bit of the dark wax just to make it look a little bit more rustic, and that's all there is to it. This is probably the easiest tray DIY that you could do, as long as you have a printer. So this next DIY is another really easy DIY. I have these dishcloths that I bought at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be making a pillow out of them. Now, so when I apply the hot glue, what I'm doing is I kind of put them on the back side facing up, so that way I put the hot glue, like I'm putting the hot glue on the good side, but then I flip it over so you can't see the seams. And I do this all around the pillow, and then I'm just stuffing the pillow with plastic bags. Now you can stuff with plastic bags, with polyfill, with old pillows, with old pillow filling, with old clothing, whatever you really want to. I just have lots and lots of plastic bags, so I'm just stuffing it with the plastic bags, and it's going to look great on my covered back deck. I just forgot to mention, make sure that you don't glue it all the way around. You leave an opening so you can stuff it, and then you glue it after. So you just have to be careful with this part, and you kind of fold it over, and then you add the glue, and then you glue it that way, and it makes a really cute pillow for $2, well, $2.50 here, probably if you're in the States, $2. Really, really cheap and like gorgeous pillow. And I mean, to buy these at Winners or HomeSense or Marshalls, you would be paying probably 15 bucks, 10, 15 bucks. Even if you bought a pillow case, you would be at least paying 5 bucks. So really cute, and I love how soft it is and how cute it turned out. So if you guys are brand new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're returning, thank you so much for watching. I don't know if you guys know how much I appreciate your views and your comments and the fact that you subscribe and take the time to come by and watch my videos. I work really hard on them, and some of them are better than others. I'm still working out kind of even my style and all of this stuff. Like I said before, when I make these videos, all of the stuff that I'm making is usually for my house, unless I'm making it for somebody as a gift or something. We moved about 2 years ago now, into a house that is quite a bit bigger than our old house. We had a really, really small house, but then when the kids came, it got a little bit cramped, and it was on a really busy street, so we wound up finding something on a quieter street. And there was a lot of work that needed to be done with this house, so slowly we've been kind of doing the work. And although I didn't record all of the work that we've done, I have shown you bits of my house over on my home channel, so if you want to check out some of my house, you can check it out there. And all of the decor pieces, because we have the bigger house now I can make the themed, like the holiday themed DIY. So that's what I love doing. My style, I guess, is like kind of chic, rustic, farmhouse. It's a mishmash of stuff. It's basically things that are old looking I really like, so that's what I kind of lean towards. I do everything on a budget because life is expensive. So I try to do everything on a budget. So if you like that kind of stuff and you haven't been here before, make sure you subscribe. And if you have been here before, again, thank you so much for coming back. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I try to do 2 videos a week. I'm still working on the days, but I think I'm set to Tuesday and Sunday. That works really good with my family right now. So that's what I'm doing. So make sure you check out my video on Tuesday. We're doing a lockdown collab because there's a whole bunch of us Canadian, well, Ontario crafters who are on a full lockdown. We cannot buy craft supplies, so we're showing you what we're doing with the things that we can buy. Okay, so let's get back to the next DIY. So I guess this is lemon themed only because of the color. But what I'm doing is I have these beads that I had gotten a long time ago, and I am taking 20 of these beads and I'm going to be just putting them in a cup and adding some yellow acrylic paint, and I'm going to be shaking the cup. And this is just another way that I saw to do these beads that might be a little bit easier than to paint them individually, because then all you have to do is touch them up after. I'm okay with the way they turned out, but I almost like spray painting them better. But if you don't, I don't have all sorts of spray paint colors. So having the acrylic paints, I have a more variety of paints. So this is just another alternative. I was going to do them white and yellow, but then I just decided to just do yellow. So I'm just drying them on a skewer here, and then once they fully dry, I'll go over them with a brush and just touch them up, and then that's all there is to them. I'll add them to a rope, to some jute rope, and then, well, just some like twine, sorry, not jute rope, twine, and that's all there is to this little DIY. And last but not least, I have this little container from the thrift store, and I'm going to be painting it, spray painting it in white, and also painting it over with chalk linen white. So I like to always spray paint because with these things it kind of gives a nice base coat, and then I can just put the chalk paint on as something to give it a little bit more depth and texture. So after I do the Rust-Oleum coat on top of the spray painted coat, I was going to use that stencil with the lemonade font, lemonade word that I used at the beginning, like what that I showed you on the Cricut that I wrote in the skinny font, well, the lemon font. Well, I was going to use that stencil, however, it was bleeding because I think because of the ridges and the curve of this vase, it just wasn't working out for me. Maybe I was doing something wrong, not sure. So I improvised and I used a Sharpie just to write in the words. Whenever you write words on something like this, you want to kind of find your center, and then you start with your letter in the middle, and then you kind of work your way out and then out, kind of from the middle and then to the right, and then from the middle to the left, and then that way it kind of looks more centered. And I used a thicker Sharpie and then a thinner Sharpie. I went over it with the thinner Sharpie just to get it to look the way that I wanted to. So just a quick note, anytime you want to distress stuff, you make sure that you take on your paint and then you dab the extra off so that you don't have too much paint. Otherwise it'll either bleed or it won't look the best. And I don't have like a rhyme or reason to the way I distress it. Just kind of look at it and put it where I think it needs it. So again, here it is all completed. I think it turned out really cute. All of these are super easy, super fun DIYs to make. They will look great in my tray. I will have that video over on my home decor channel, I believe, on May 19th. And really easy to make, inexpensive, and quick. That's the best part of it all. Make sure you check out the videos I've recommended in this video. Make sure you check out the playlist. Check out Sonja. And I have many playlists made up, so if you're wanting to binge watch on DIYs, make sure you check out my playlists. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and we'll see you on Tuesday when you come at 1 p.m. from the lockdown collab.